Welcome all. I am Grishma Das PS, a student of IES College of Engineering. Here, today we are discussing about the bearing capacity of a soil. So, we all know that every structure can be divided into two parts. The first part is a substructure and the second one is superstructure. So the major part of a substructure is foundation. So foundation is that part of a structure which transmit the weight of a structure to the ground. The foundation is derived from the Latin word fundere, which means to set or ground something solid. So for every structure, the foundation must be designed with care. The major consideration while designing a foundation are the soil below does not fail in shear and the settlement is within the safe limits. So, now we are discussing about what is bearing capacity of a soil. The stability of every structure is dependent upon the stability of the supporting soil. So every soil behave in a complex manner when loaded. So it is important to know the bearing capacity of soils. So the bearing capacity of any soil or rock is defined as the capacity of a soil or rock to support the loads applied to the ground. It can be also defined as the maximum contact pressure between the soil and the structure. So, why is soil bearing capacity required? The stability of any foundation depends on mainly two factors. The first one is bearing capacity of the soil beneath the foundation and the second one settlement of the soil beneath the foundation. So it is important to know the bearing capacity of soils. The bearing capacity of any soil depend upon the shearing resistance of the soil and the consolidation property of any soil determine the settlement characteristic of the soil. Now we are discussing about some basic definitions related to soil bearing capacity. The first one is ultimate bearing capacity. It is denoted by the symbol QU. The ultimate bearing capacity is defined as the gross pressure at the base of the foundation at which soil fails in shear. The gross pressure includes self-weight of the structure, overburden soil pressure, and other all loads acting on the foundation. The second one is net ultimate bearing capacity. It is denoted by the symbol QNU. The net ultimate bearing capacity is defined as the net increase in pressure at the base of the foundation that causes shear failure of the soil. So, it is equal to ultimate bearing capacity minus the stress due to weight of the footing and any soil. Mathematically, it can be expressed as QNU equal to QU minus gamma dF, where QU is the ultimate bearing capacity and gamma is the unit weight of soil, and dF is the depth of foundation from the surface of the soil. The third term is net safe bearing capacity. As the name indicates, it is the net soil pressure which can be safely applied to the soil considering only shear failure. It is denoted by the symbol QNS. The net safe bearing capacity is calculated by dividing the net ultimate bearing capacity by certain factor of safety. For designing purposes, usually the factor of safety is taken as 3. So mathematically, the net safe bearing capacity can be expressed as QNS equal to QNU divided by F, where F is the factor of safety. The fourth one is gross safe bearing capacity, denoted by the symbol QS. It is the maximum gross pressure which the soil can carry without shear failure. It is calculated by adding net safe bearing capacity and original overburden pressure. Mathematically, it can be expressed as Qs equal to Qns plus gamma dF. The fifth one is gross pressure intensity, denoted by the symbol small letter q. The gross pressure intensity is the total pressure at the base of the footing due to the weight of the superstructure, self-weight of the footing and weight of the earth fill. Sixth term is net pressure intensity, denoted as Qn. It is defined as the excess pressure or difference in intensity of gross pressure after the construction of a structure and the original overburden pressure. It is mathematically expressed as Qn is equal to Q minus sigma dash, where Q is the gross pressure intensity at the base of the footing and sigma dash is the effective overburden pressure. The next one is net safe settlement pressure QNP. It is the pressure with which the soil can carry without exceeding the allowable settlement. The maximum allowable settlement for every structure varies between 25 mm to 40 mm for individual footings. The net safe settlement pressure is also known as unit soil pressure or safe bearing pressure. The last one is net allowable bearing pressure. It is denoted by the symbol QNA. The net allowable bearing pressure is the net loading intensity at which neither soil facing shear nor there is excessive settlement to the structure. In Terzaghis bearing capacity theory, the failure occurs when the downward pressure exerted by loads on a soil adjoining the inclined surfaces CB and CA of the soil wedge is equal to the upward pressure. The downward forces are due to the load QU into B and the weight of the wedge 1 by 4 gamma B square tan phi dash. The upward forces are the vertical component of the resultant passive pressure PP and the cohesion C dash acting along the inclined surfaces. As the resultant passive pressure is inclined at an angle phi dash to the normal to the surface of the wedge, it is vertical. Therefore, from the equilibrium equation in the vertical direction, 1 by 4 gamma B square tan phi dash plus QU into B equal to 2 PP plus 2 C dash into L sin phi dash, where L is the length of the inclined surface CB. Therefore, QU into B equal to 2 PP plus BC dash tan phi dash minus 1 by 4 gamma B square tan phi dash. The resultant passive pressure PP on the surface CB and CA constitute the following three components. The first component is PP gamma, which is produced by the weight of the shear zone BCDE assuming the soil is cohesionless, that is C dash equal to 0 and neglecting the surcharge Q. The second component is PPC, which is produced by the component C dash of the soil assuming the soil as a weightless and gamma equal to 0 and neglecting the surcharge Q. The third component is PPQ, which is produced by surcharge Q assuming the soil as cohesionless and weightless, that is C dash equal to 0 and gamma equal to 3. The three components PP gamma, PPC and PPQ obtained assuming different surface of failures. So, although their respective failure surface are different from actual failure surface developed for a footing on a soil possessing weight and cohesion and also having a surcharge, the resultant can be superimposed without introducing much air. Thus, the resultant passive pressure PP is taken equal to the sum of component PPY plus PPC plus PPQ. So, the resultant equation is QUB equal to 2PPY plus PPC plus PPQ plus BC dash tan phi dash minus 1 by 4 gamma B square tan phi dash. Here 2PPY minus 1 by 4 gamma B square sin phi dash equal to B into 0.5 gamma B and gamma. 2PPY plus BC dash tan phi can be denoted as BC dash NC and 2PPQ equal to B gamma DF NQ. So, the capacity under a strip footing can be written as QU is equal to C dash NC plus DF NQ plus 0.5 B N gamma. By the modification of above equation, for square and circular footing are also given as they are. For square footing, QU equal to 1.C NC plus gamma DF NQ plus 0.4 gamma B NY. For circular footing, QU equal to 1.C dash NC plus DF NQ plus 0.3 gamma B NY. So finally, QU equal to C dash NC plus gamma DF NQ plus 0.5 gamma B NY. So this equation is called as Terzaghis bearing capacity equation, where QU is the ultimate bearing capacity and NC, NQ and gamma are the Terzaghi bearing capacity factors. So these dimensionless factors are dependent on the angle of shearing resistance. So the various equations to find the bearing capacity factors are NC equal to cot 5 A square divided by 2 cos square 45 plus 5 by 2 minus 1. NQ equal to A square all divided by 2 cos square 45 plus 5 by 2 and N gamma equal to 0.5 tan 5 Kp divided by cos square 5 minus 1, where A equal to E into 3 pi by 4 tan 5 by 2 tan 5. Kp coefficient of passive earth pressure. So to determine the bearing capacity under strip footing, QU equal to C dash NC plus gamma DF NQ plus 0.5 gamma B N gamma. For square footing, QU equal to 1.2 C dash NC plus gamma DF NQ plus 0.4 gamma B N gamma. For circular footing, QU equal to 1.2 C dash NC plus gamma DF NQ plus 0.3 gamma B N gamma. So the next theory is Henson's bearing capacity theory. The Hensons modify the equation of Terzaghi by considering shape, depth and inclination factors. According to Henson's, QU equal to C dash NC SC DC IC plus gamma DF NQ SQ DQ IQ plus 0.5 gamma B NY SY DY and IY, where Nc, Nq, Ny are Henson's bearing capacity factors, and Sc, Sq and Sy are shape factors, and Dc, Dq and Dy are depth factors. So, the bearing capacity factors are calculated as Nq equal to tan square 45 plus 5 e raised to pi tan 5. Nc equal to Nq minus 1 cot 5. Ny equal to 1.8 Nq minus 1 tan 5. So, these tables show the shape factors for different shape of footings. So, we can select the various shape factors from this table for the calculation purposes. And this table show the depth factors considered while designing any type of foundations. And these are the inclination factors considered while designing. In this, H is the horizontal component of inclined load, B is the width of the footing, and L is the length of the footing. Now we are discussing about various type of shear failures. Vesic classified bearing capacity failures into mainly three types. The first one is general shear failure, and the second one is local shear failure, and the third one is punching shear failure. So first of all, we are discussing about the features of general shear failure. So, the general shear failure involves total rupture of the underlying soil. There is a continuous shear failure of the soil, solid lines from below the footing to the ground surface. When the load is plotted versus settlement of the footing, there is a distinct load at which the foundation fails, which is shown in the figure as a solid circle, and this load is designated as Q ultimate. The value of Q ultimate divided by the width B and length L of the footing is considered to be the ultimate bearing capacity Q ultimate. The ultimate bearing capacity has been defined as the bearing stress that causes a sudden catastrophic failure of the foundation. A general shear failure ruptures and pushes up the soil on both sides of the footing. For actual failures in the field, the soil is often pushed up only on one side of the footing with the subsequent tilting of the structure. A general shear failure occurs for soils that are in a dense or hard state. The second type of failure is local shear failure. Local shear failure involves rupture of the soil only immediately below the footing. There is soil bulging on both sides of the footing, but the bulging is not as significant as the general shear failure. Local shear failure can be considered as a transitional phase between general shear and punching shear failure. So this is the typical diagram showing the local shear failure. A local shear failure occurs for soils that are in a medium, dense or firm state. The third type of failure is punching shear failure. The punching shear failure does not develop the distinct shear surfaces associated with a general shear failure. The soil outside the loaded area remains relatively uninvolved, and there is minimal movement of the soil on both sides of the footing. The process of deformation of the footing involves compression of soil directly below the footing as well as the vertical shearing of soil around the footing perimeter. And the load settlement curve does not have a dramatic break, and for punching shear, the bearing capacity is often defined as the first major non-linearity in the load settlement curve. A punching shear failure occurs for soil that are in a loose or soft state. So this is the typical diagram showing the features of punching shear failure. So this is the table shown the type of bearing capacity failure for various type of footings, where N160 is corrected standard penetration test values. Now we are dealing with the problems related to bearing capacity of soils. The first one is a square footing 2.5 meter by 2.5 meter is built in a homogeneous bed of sand density 2.0 T per meter cube and having an angle of shearing 38 degree. The depth of a base of the footing is 1.5 meter below the ground surface. Calculate the safe bearing capacity that can be carried by a footing with a factor of safety 3 against complete shear failure. Use Terzaghi's analysis. So the solution of this problem is, first of all, we deal with the given details. Here the B is equal to 2.5 meter, D is equal to 1.5 meter and gamma equal to 2 T per meter cube. Phi equal to 38 degree, which is greater than 36 degree, so the general shear failure will occur. So the value of bearing capacity factor NQ equal to 47 and N gamma equal to 64. Since C equal to 0, therefore the ultimate bearing capacity QU equal to gamma D NQ plus 0.4 gamma B N gamma. Substituting the values, we get the answer as 125 T per meter square. So the maximum safe load equal to B square into QS equal to 2.5 square into 125 equal to 780 tons. And the second problem is a strip footing 1 meter wide at its base is located at a depth of 0.8 meter below the ground surface. The properties of the foundation soil are gamma equal to 1.8 ton per meter cube and phi equal to 20 degree and C equal to 3 ton per meter square. Determine the safe bearing capacity using a factor of safety 3. Use Terzaghi's analysis. Assume soil local shear failure. And the solution of this problem is QU equal to 2 by 3 C N C gamma dash plus gamma D N Q dash plus 0.5 gamma B N gamma dash. For phi equal to 20 degree, from table we got the values of NC dash equal to 9.5, NQ dash equal to 3.5 and N gamma equal to 1.7. Substituting these values in this equation, we get the QU is equal to 23.5 T per meter square and QS equal to 9.3 ton per meter square. Thank you.